This week, I get stuck in the country with just 3 flights a day, somehow manage to mess up making a coffee machine coffee, and I get the latex glove treatment on a Caribbean island, all in my quest to get home from Surinam. Well, good morning from Paramaribo, the capital city of Surinam, South America's smallest country. And it seems that Surinam might not just be South America's smallest country, but also potentially the country that's hardest to get in and out of, as I'm finding out today. See, today I was supposed to be flying from Paramaribo to a place called Belém in Brazil, which, apart from having the best place name in the whole of South America, well, it was one of only 3 flights that leave Paramaribo and indeed Surinam today, because there was that flight and then 2 flights to Amsterdam, and the airline that operate that flight fly not very often at all, because they contacted me this morning and told me that my flight was cancelled and I am stuck here in a country that seemingly has no escape. You see, the country of Surinam is a pretty isolated place. Aside from the 2 daily flights across to Amsterdam, about a 10-hour flight away, there's about 3 or 4 international flights every day from the whole country. It's really, really hard to get in and to get out. Every other flight today is completely fully booked. Most of the flights tomorrow that I've seen so far are completely fully booked. So I don't know how long I'm going to be stuck here in Paramaribo. I'm supposed to be heading to Brazil and then heading up to the US via some Caribbean islands. That's all gone for a Burton now, because I don't think there's any chance on earth that I'm going to get to Belém in time for tomorrow's flights. But I'm going to head back to my hotel and have a look and see what my options are, and see if I can find a way out of this mess, really. It's a little bit like the Hotel California. You can sort of check into Surinam, but you can never actually leave. So then, Surinam's the smallest country in South America. It's got 1 international airport at Paramaribo, the nation's capital city, but despite this, there's only a handful of flights a day from Paramaribo. Aside from the daily flight to Amsterdam with either KLM or Surinam Airways, there's only a handful of other flights. Surinam Airways send a 737 to Aruba, and Copa fly to Panama City a few times a week. Surinam Airways also fly to Georgetown in Guyana, and then there's a handful of other flights that only fly on 1 or 2 days a week. There's also the flight to Belém in Brazil that goes a couple of days a week that I was booked on before it got cancelled. Because there's so few flights, whatever flights there are get booked up really quickly. I looked at taking a flight to Georgetown or Panama City, but both were completely sold out for over a week. It seemed my options to get out of Surinam were pretty limited, unless I fancied a round trip across the Atlantic to Amsterdam and back to the US, which wasn't particularly appealing after just arriving from Amsterdam the day before. Well, I have some good news. I have managed to find a flight out of Surinam that's actually got seats on it and takes me to somewhere where hopefully there's a chance of me getting a flight onwards to the US. The bad news is it's not for another 2 days, so I'm sort of stuck here. But hey, 2 more days here, I don't know. It's not the worst place to be, is it, I suppose?
2 days later.
All right, it is go time. It is 2 a.m. and I've managed to get myself a seat on a flight out of Paramaribo at 5 a.m. this morning, which means I've had no sleep. I'm absolutely exhausted, but hopefully this is going to take me somewhere where I can get a flight back to the US. Hi, good morning. Right, then heading to the airport, hopefully enough time. It takes about an hour to get to the airport from here in Paramaribo. Fingers crossed we've got enough time, because my flight leaves in about 2 hours. Thanks very much. Thank you, have a good day. Alright, so we're at the airport. My flight leaves at 5 a.m. I'm flying on Caribbean Airlines up to Port of Spain, hopefully to be able to connect on to something back to the US. Hi, good morning.
Hi. You do just for the Spain with us?
Yes, we do, yeah.
So you have a lot of...
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
sorry.
Surinam Airways.
Yeah, Azerbaijan.
I'm going to take it off,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm going to put the Caribbean Airlines.
I was collecting those as well.
Oh, do you want them?
No, you're alright.
Okay, this is your lounge pass.
Okay.
To use in the lounge, and this is your boarding pass.
Perfect. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You have a good flight.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. Perfect. Thank you. come through to the Sudoku lounge here, Paramaribo Airport, which is okay, it's quite nice. As lounges go, it's quite nice actually. And the airport's a bit ramshackle, it's a bit like a warehouse in the middle of the jungle. A bit basic, but the lounge is okay. This is quite nice up here. There isn't much here. It's about the size, probably even smaller than East Midlands Airport back in the UK. But got some coffee at least.
Goedemorgen, dames en heren. Caribbean Airlines nodigt nu haar business class passagiers uit en passagiers die
Okay, well that's our flight.
nooduitgangen.
Might as well finish my coffee and let's get going.
Caribbean Airlines now invites their business class passengers and passengers seated on the emergency exit rows. Please keep your passports and boarding.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And in true Surinam style, the plane is about a 10-minute walk away across the apron. Hi, good morning, how are you? Thank you very much. 3, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Right then, much sooner than I thought we would be. Welcome on board the Caribbean Airlines Boeing 737. It's not a MAX 8, it's just a Boeing 737-8. But this is business class. And look at the legroom we get here. There's a screen and everything here. We'll look through that in a little while. It's only about an hour and a half's flight, I think, over to the port of Spain, which is not in Spain, it's in Trinidad, which isn't too far from here. But hopefully from there we can get out on another flight back to the US, because there's a few flights a day from there. And they do use these flights on some quite long routes, by the way. 6 hours I think is about the longest up to New York, so this sort of legroom is decent for the long flights up to New York, but it's even better for a short flight like this. I still need coffee. I never got to drink my coffee in the lounge. So they've boarded the flight like an hour before the flight's due to go. It's 4:20 in the morning. We're not due to be going till 5. I'm not quite sure why it takes an hour to board a 737, but it doesn't really, because we're all on board and we've still got 40 minutes until we leave. But the good news is I've managed to get a seat on American Airlines out of Port of Spain up to Miami on a flight that leaves at 7 a.m. We get in at 5:30. That flight leaves at 7, so fingers crossed, an hour and a half in between flights. We might have enough time to hopefully check in for our flight up to Miami. The good news is we've taken off about 30 minutes early, and it reckons that we should be landing into Port of Spain about 35 minutes early as well. So fingers crossed we might actually have a chance of making this connection. I've booked up to Miami. I've then got to get a flight from Miami across to Houston, hopefully. There are a few flights a day from Miami to Houston with American and United, so fingers crossed, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it. I've got to get to Miami first. We get a light continental breakfast on this flight, just a couple of bakery items, hopefully some coffee coming soon, but this is nice to get something on board, eh? Right, then started our descent down into Trinidad. We should be on the ground pretty soon, hopefully enough time to get this connection, if I'm still awake by then.
Gentlemen, welcome to Trinidad. This is the Piarco International Airport. On behalf of Captain Harry Topa, the rest of the in-flight passengers, we thank you for flying with us and do enjoy the rest of your morning. Once again, thank you.
Thank you. So we've landed in Trinidad about 30 minutes ahead of schedule, which means theoretically, gives me an extra 30 minutes to get my flight up to Miami. There's an American Airlines plane on the next gate, so I don't know if that's my flight. But I need to go and check in first. It's not a through flight, so I need to go through immigration, check in again, and come back through. Alright, through immigration, through customs. That was a slightly drawn out process, but never mind. Need to go and find where the check-in is now, and hopefully we've got time to check in, because I need a wee as well. I don't want to do that and waste time before I get checked in, so let's go. Right, the sign says proceed to gate 4 immediately. We'll do as soon as I can get checked in. Come on. Hey, good morning, how are you? Thank you.
Noel, how many bags are checking?
No bags, just carry on please. Yeah, thank you.
Final destination is done, right?
Alright, perfect.
So both your boarding passes are here and you're proceeding to gate 4 as soon as possible, right?
Wonderful, thank you very much, and S's as well. Thank you very much. Thanks. Alright, all checked in, and I've got 4 S's on my boarding pass. Yay! Probably because I booked it like this morning, so that's probably explains it. But anyway, let's go and head through security. And my 4S security, extra security, love it. Now, getting 4 S's on your boarding pass isn't usually a good thing. It means you've been randomly selected for extra screening, or more likely you just booked a last-minute flight into the US a few hours before, as I had in this case. Now, this often means extra delays, something that I could do without today, but as it turned out, at Trinidad, the enhanced screening line meant I could skip most of the regular line, and it was even quicker. Hey, good morning. Thank you. I need extra touching up today. Alright, thank you. Have a good one. Right, so my extra security screening not only meant that I got to skip a little bit of the queue as well back at security, but also got touched up as well, so it's a win-win. So now down to the gate, because they again are boarding really early. We're like an hour before and they've just called saying we need to go straight to the gate, so let's go and get to gate number 4 for our ride over to Miami. I got down to the gate where my flight was already boarding. The bad news was that my 4 S's were coming back to haunt me, as I needed touching up one last time before I got onto the plane.
Okay, so you have
Alright, thank you. Oh, I think they've already done my extra search, but is that okay?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so where? Down here? Okay. Alright. Hi, they've sent me here. I've already had my extra search, but I don't know.
Okay, Noel, right?
Yes.
Right to me.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
Backpack.
Backpack, yeah, again. They did all this at the security point as well. Alright, thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Right, thank you. Thank you. Back this way, okay. Alright, thank you. Hi, good morning, how are you? Yeah, good, thank you. Made it. Alright, made it on board. American 737 MAX 8. Back to Miami. I just want to get back now. Hopefully not a long flight. I don't know how long it is. 3 hours or so, maybe. I don't know. But we're on his way back. That's the important thing.
Miami will be 3 hours and 32 minutes. We will be flying in and out of our Boeing 737 MAX.
Welcome to your American Airlines flight. If you haven't already fastened your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle.
An airborne from Trinidad heading back to the US, back to Miami at least. And then we've got a couple of hours in between flights there to go through global entry and everything, and get back through TSA to airside for my flight over to Houston. Now, normally American aren't my favourite airline in the world. They've always been very hit and miss for me in the past, but today they weren't actually too bad. We got a breakfast service, well, a pot of oatmeal at least, as we flew over the Caribbean on our way back into Miami. As the American coastline came into view, I was just glad to be getting home. This had been a crazy trip around Europe and Kazakhstan before coming home via South America. I just had one more leg to make it home to Texas.
Miami-based crew at American Airlines, we want to welcome you to Miami.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Miami. So we ride over from Trinidad. That was quite a nice flight actually. I enjoyed that with American. Not very often I say that about American. Not my favourite airline. Actually, they were pretty decent today and the crew were really nice. Let's head through immigration and then make our way to our last flight of the trip. Well, that was all really straightforward, straight through global entry in about 30 seconds and then straight through pre-check and clear in about another 30 seconds and we're back airside again here at Miami. Nice and easy does it, and I'm going to try and find a lounge. I've got about 3 hours till my next flight out of here, so I believe there is a lounge somewhere. Let's go see if we can find it. How you doing? I'm good, thank you. How are you? I've just come off an international business class flight, but also I've got BA status as well, so hopefully one of those will get me in.
BA will get you in.
Okay, let me. I don't think it shows on it. It shows Ruby on there. Yeah, I've got. It shows on there as Ruby, but I've got silver now.
To enjoy all the
Exactly.
benefits.
Do you get it with international business class as well?
International business class gives you access, but for the for the Admirals Club.
Oh, okay.
Flagship is only certain international, like Europe, Australia.
On business class, so that would have got me
Admirals
to the Admirals Club, but this is the flagship. Okay.
Correct. Now with the status, you're always looking for the flagship.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Thank you. So because of my little mileage run across to Gatwick and back when I was in Amsterdam earlier on this week at some point, I don't know, I've lost all track of time, but that got me status and it got me Emerald, I think, status. They don't do, One World don't do silver, gold and all the rest of it like every other alliance does. They do like Emerald and Platinum and Ruby and all sorts of other stuff, so I'm always confused. But anyway, BA silver status, Emerald level I think, and it gets you into the flagship lounge here at Miami, which is quite nice really. They've got some really nice food, loads of little sitting areas around. Look at all this lot, it's so quiet as well. Very, very nice. And the food, look at this food. I've gone for some lemon chicken with some rice for mid-lunch today. I've got about 3 hours here until my flight leaves to Houston, so let's sit here, have a bite to eat, have a rest, maybe have a nap. Alright then, time to head to the gate, say goodbye to Miami and let's go home. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you much.
Awesome, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Hi there, how are you? Thank you.
Here, I'll hold this file.
Alright, on board, last leg of the trip. It's time to go home. So here we are then, the last flight of this trip, Airborne out of Miami, we're crossing the Gulf of Mexico right now, 14 days after I set off from the US. Yep, that's right, I've covered 26,248 miles on this trip, 20 flights, 2 trains, 11 videos filmed, 10 countries I've been in on this trip, all around the world, and yeah, it's about time now to get back and spend a bit of time at home with the family, resting for a bit, if there is such a thing. So yeah, I'm going to have a glass of rum and Diet Coke on this flight, I think, to celebrate. I've had some really good fun on this trip, some really cool adventures, the Antonov in Kazakhstan being the absolute highlight, Surinam being another massive highlight, even though I got stuck there. The flight down there was just absolutely incredible. I've just had an amazing time on this trip, it's been really, really cool. We got served slightly more than a pot of oatmeal on this flight, and pretty soon we'd have reached the other side of the Gulf of Mexico and coasted in over Texas to begin our descent down into Houston. I'd like to say thank you to my amazing Patreons for their ongoing support. You can join them at the link on the screen now for access to my WhatsApp group, regular Zoom calls with me, and much more.
Thank you. Right, back in Houston. Great flight with American, actually. And we're early as well. Right, and head through and grab my car. My ride back home. All right, so welcome back to Houston, home at last after a crazy trip and craziness in Suriname as well. But I really enjoyed that in the end. It all came together, and it just proves that things always end up working out. Like, regardless of what happens, you always end up getting back. There's always a way home, and we've done it. So thanks ever so much for watching. Appreciate it a lot. As always, take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.